realize that there are certain things that you still got to do in order to get your miracle. Do I have any good witnesses in here? Some folks looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I need hooked on phonics right now because I don't understand. But what do I do? And I say, God, what do I do? And the enemy, the enemy will come and say, well, you've lost power. The enemy will come and say, well, God just ain't with you. Now, I wish I had some honest church folk. I was listening at the message that they played, the today's message, and even in that message, I say it's hard to get church folk to be honest because church folk don't like to be honest about stuff. How many have ever been in a situation where you just asking God, you're like, well, God, what's going on? Now, don't act like you've never been there, because even Peter, after the Lord was questioning him, Peter was like, well, Lord, you know I love you. Why you keep asking me the same thing? John was in prison, and it seemed like the Lord wasn't coming his way. And John said, wait a minute now, are you the one that should come, or should I look for another? Because it seems like you ain't moving fast enough. And people do that in their spirits. They begin to rationale with God. Well, God, maybe you want me in a different place. Well, God, maybe I should just stay home today. Well, God, maybe it ain't just the place. God, maybe this. God. And God say, all you got to do is just wait a minute to stop trying to rationale with me. I'll give you the answer of what you should do, because I found out something in life, in serving God, that a lot of times we teach and preach on miracles, but really, if we would be honest, the waiting period is longer and even greater than the miracle period. We simply say, God began to tell me, you got to teach more on waiting than even teaching on miracles, because if you would be honest, all them times you prayed, you didn't get a miracle, but you still had to wait. And people don't know what to do when they got to wait on God. They don't know how to act, and they don't know how to react when they're waiting on God. They only want the miracle, but they don't know how to wait until the miracle comes. It only took Elijah just a few minutes to tell Ahab and the nation, listen, it ain't going to rain for these years except according to my word. But then what he had to deal with after just a few minutes of declaration are years of waiting on God. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, you're at a point where you got to wait on God. Now, after you told him that, take your Bible, flip to Psalms 30, and I want to look at verse 4 and 5 just for a moment, because I don't plan to keep you long. I'm going to give you the answers here in just a few minutes, but I got to give you some substance first. Psalms 30 and 4, it says, sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. Listen, look at verse 5. And the reason I know many of us miss the preceding portion of this verse is because we only go to the end. But look closely here. He said, for his anger endureth but just a moment, and in his favor is life. Now that's enough to shout right there. And what we've grasped hold to, and rightfully so, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. But go back just before the weeping and look in the fact that his favor is life. He might be upset for a moment. He might see sometimes God will get angry with us, God will get upset with us. It'll be for a moment, but then even his favor is life. And that's enough to let the enemy know, and that's enough. The reason I say it's enough to shout on, because there are certain things that try to take you out. There are certain things in life try to destroy you. But if God ever gives you favor, then you automatically got life. And I just like to believe that I'm favored by God. Come on, you got to get the mindset that God favors me, and you know you gotta have enough relationship with God that when you know you're walking right, you're saying something in your mind like, God, I know you favor me, and as long as you favor me, yea, though I walk through, oh God, the valley of the shadows of death, I ain't gonna fear no evil because I am I am the favored of God.